Hello, and hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to episode number 1 of the Esports Rewind podcast. My name is Jake.
I'm Zan. Nice to meet you all.
And pretty much a breakdown of this series for all of you guys. Each and every week, we're going to come back here and break down all of the fun, the hottest, the newest esports news, the stuff we found that was actually pretty funny, and recap it all for you guys in one single podcast.
Now, for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy who normally puts up articles on the site and usually, handles most of the social media. Of course, Jake will hop on occasion.
And you guys know me from the videos, so he is more of our writer side. I'm more the video side. We thought, why not come together and bring you guys a podcast where we share the best esports stories. So as always, let's get into it.
Sounds good.
So for my first story this week, and I'm sure many of you guys heard about this, it was actually about Epic Games. I'm bringing you a couple stories from Epic Games this week.
Of course. When is there not a story about Epic Games? Right. Every 5 seconds. They can't stay quiet.
And every time you see an Epic Games story, someone's complaining. It's never I love what they do.
Yeah, nobody's ever you know what? Fortnite saved my child. I'm so happy. Thank you, Fortnite.
Which is actually relevant. We'll bring that around for a later story. But this one was actually their ruling on teaming. So as a battle royale, you can cheat in an extensive amount of ways, right? With typical games, it's like aimware or wall hacks, whatever it might be. But with a battle royale, you can cheat by teaming. I'm sure you know what teaming is. I'm sure you guys do as well.
Speaking, yeah.
What's pretty crazy about this, they had someone cheat in their World Cup, and what they did was they announced the next week. They kicked the guy that cheated, but instead they dished out now an official rule for teaming, and with that, the ban is now 2 weeks.
Only 2 weeks.
Yeah. For pretty much, they call it teaming.
Yeah.
But in most other esports, anything of this sort is called cheating.
Yeah. If not, or they'll try to maybe dial it down, say, "Oh, that was collusion."
Yeah.
Try to trick people. Oh, they don't know what that means. We're gonna say that. They're gonna leave quietly. It'll be like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know how to feel about that 2 weeks thing.
Is there anything in the fighting scene that's about? Because I know from CS:GO side,
right?
If you're aim hacking, if you're wall hacking, if you're cheating anyway, they have no leniency. It's you're gone for at least a couple of years, if not permanent.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is in all esports, as far as I can remember. Yeah. I mean, every instance of it in fighting games, somebody will get caught, or there'll be suspicion of it. It doesn't even have to be confirmed, right? And immediately DQ'd, no prize money. Whatever,
And I made a video about this too. It almost sets precedence for all future battle royales that are they weren't the first one, but they were the first successful one. So for me, I was super pissed off about this news to have. It's almost like they want people to play their game more and say, hey, if there's a big tournament on the line with a big prize pool, you can cheat or team and just slap you on the wrist for 2 weeks and come back in 2 weeks and play our game again.
Hopefully they change their mind down the line, because the World Cup it's supposed to be the pinnacle Fortnite event, right? For the year.
Biggest Fortnite event ever, biggest esport event ever. $30 million.
You can't have a major event like that and then just be it's for kids. Slap you on the wrist, go sit in timeout for 5 seconds. Right. No, you have to if there's that's real money. $30 million is a lot of money.
Yeah, is.
You can't be playing with that.
So for me, at least personally, I thought this was in the bad news category.
I would agree. Yeah, not fun to see. All right, so
hit me with it.
All right, so you've heard about this a bit. I wanted to talk about how Magic got declared literally the most complex game in the world.
I was really hoping
that blows my mind.
Really hoping we could go 15 minutes without talking about Magic.
But what Magic is in right now. It's so interesting. It's hot. It's spicy.
All right, tell me about the hotness then.
All right, so. You know how once a year you hear about some AI beat some pro chess player and some nonsense, right? And everybody's all sad and they're the machines are going to kill us all.
Yeah. It literally is how it happens.
Yeah.
Dota does it. The AI beats pro teams and all of a sudden everyone's saying Elon Musk is going to get us all killed.
No, yeah. He's have you not seen Terminator? No, but so they put up one of these top tier AIs against Magic the Gathering. We're okay, figure out the best way to play the game. Figure out the most optimal path and win. Couldn't do it. AI was just nah, I'm not having none of this.
How did it end exactly? Because I know with Dota, they played several pro teams and they beat some. Right. They didn't beat others. Ultimately, I think they beat most of them, obviously.
Yeah. In this study, it wasn't against pro players, to my understanding. It was just they did it kind of in a vacuum, right? They gave it the game, a list of cards, a list of various rules from various points in time with Magic, because the game's been around forever basically, and then they were just look at this and figure out the best way to play the game.
Okay.
And basically just win against yourself or the game itself, or they gave it like a bunch of different conditions.
Okay.
And the AI decided at the end of the day, just there were too many variables.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with a set deck and stuff.
Yeah, see. They didn't go into like specifics like that because unfortunately, what I always like about these whenever they have like a show match against a Dota team or whatever, the people who run them always know enough about the game to be able to tell you in detail what was going on, right? This is very much like a researcher who probably played Magic the Gathering when he was a kid and was familiar with it, and was like, oh, you know what, let me see, because I remember this being hard. So he doesn't go as in depth into the nitty gritty of his findings as I would have liked. Maybe he did somewhere else, and it's just in some like study somewhere hidden.
Yeah.
But it was still. I personally found it like really wild and really interesting.
That whole thing kind of just blows my mind. Yeah. So for me, that's a good old cool news category.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good one too. That's a feel good story for the week. Yeah, for sure. I'm ready for our AI overlords.
All right, so I was gonna throw you a back-to-back Epic Games story, but I'll leave that for the next one instead. But this one actually about a story we covered on here. You might have seen it. It was actually a really cool story about esports crowds finally chipping away at each other.
Okay, yeah, I haven't actually seen this. I heard you talk about it.
Okay.
No idea what's going on here.
We will try and roll a few clips for all of you guys. If you have not seen, it was first the CSGO crowd calling out the Overwatch people, and then later on it was over in London. CWL held an event for Call of Duty, and they actually called out CSGO people almost like they were defending. Oh, it was a weird intermixing of esports.
So that's frustrating there for Fnatic. Just Deagle's an armor to save, but I guess he might as well. They're going to have absolutely nothing next round as Liquid will take the lead 2-1.
So I just explained that. So how this actually started was, I guess once more, was how CSGO fans were right next door to an Overwatch event, and that's why the CSGO people started saying F you Overwatch, F you Overwatch. Within a few hours, we go to London at a CWL event, and apparently Call of Duty guys were on their phones, seeing Reddit and stuff, and they just start calling CSGO people the W word. I'm not sure if I can say the W word, so we're not going to say it, but right, how thin are you? Like, what are you doing at an esports? It's an IEM event in Sydney.
Yeah.
What are you doing putting two giant esports events right smack dab next to each other?
Honestly, it sounds like, this reminds me of like being in like a trash apartment with like the really, really super thin walls, and you just got the bad neighbors next door who are just like
you got the bad neighbors, you got the bad neighbors.
Yeah, you got
hear
the
everything.
It's a Friday night. I'm gonna hear a couple gunshots. It's okay. That's normal.
That is a super good the trash apartment compared to that is a really good analysis. But for me, it was great to see. Like it was cool to see crowds actually get involved to the point where like they don't obviously hate other esports,
right, of course.
But it's kind of like,
I would hope not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
One of them was probably like, these guys like really like hardcore hates them.
Yeah.
But in all fun, it was like generally in all fun, kind of I called it banter back and forth.
Okay.
I thought it was back to back a cool story from me.
Yeah, I'd say that's good too. I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah,
more of like hype. So, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just excited to hear your next story.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's the face. Apex Legends, right?
Oh, this is gonna be good.
It's potentially a good story, but in a really weird gray area, right?
Okay.
So I don't know if you heard earlier that Apex Legends is coming to phones theoretically.
Oh, I actually did, along with China.
Yeah, and coming out in China. And I was reading that news, and I was thinking about Respawn's team, right? They're working with like a relatively small team comparatively to some other like development teams, right? And Respawn is one of those few companies I would legitimately trust when they say they don't want to force their developers to go through crunch and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
They have, they're good people.
From what we've seen, their transparency, for sure. Much better than Epic. Yeah. I agree.
So I could easily see this being a thing where the reason we're not seeing any Apex content right now is because they're focusing on mobile in China, because those are both huge markets.
Yeah,
that's
I didn't even
all
think
of the
about
money.
That. Which is interesting, though, because when you also look at Apex, you look at the amount of complaints about the Chinese region because there is no official Chinese server. They're flooding into.
And they're causing problems everywhere else.
So are you inferring that Respawn is thinking about making a Chinese region and then server locking them or region locking them?
I don't think they may not have to, because I think a lot of the reason that people from China are coming over is just because they don't really have a decent option.
Mm-hmm.
So if they give them one, then I imagine at least enough of those people will migrate to that and will stop causing problems other places. And that could take care of some of the hacking issues that are going on right now.
For sure.
Latency would probably go down across the board to some extent. And
I guess that would make, because they've made so many, I don't know if you checked their Reddit, they've made so many posts and updates about what they're planning to do. Mm-hmm. And what we've talked about here is maybe that they kind of just got a little bit too much going on because they didn't expect this growth.
Yeah, they got ahead of themselves.
110, 50 million players so soon. Yeah. But what also worries me about that, not only Chinese cheaters, is the fact that they haven't, you'd think they maybe would have mentioned that in their roadmap, like eventually want to go to mobile.
I could see them being worried that something like that wouldn't go over too well, like right now specifically, especially in light of it was only like a few months ago that what was it, Diablo Immortals got announced as a mobile title.
Yeah,
I could see it being the type of thing where EA is like, you know what, it's coming to mobile, people will be happy when it's there. The mobile crowd, if you're like a mobile only gamer, you're probably not reading news on the daily, right? So even if they say, hey guys,
that's how hey guys,
hey guys, Apex here.
Nicest way you can make it sound.
They're like, hey, we're coming out with a mobile version. None of the mobile people are going to be like, oh, sick, I'm going to be hyped.
True.
They're just going to see it on the App Store. They're going to hear about it. They're going to download it then. All of the hardcore people, the people who are like worried right now and they're falling off the game because they don't have stuff to do, they're not going to care about the mobile stuff, chances are.
Oh, no, no way. No way.
Yeah. So
I feel like you might be giving Respawn maybe a bit too much credit. Yeah. I hope you're right. I hope that's why they've been absent for so long.
You got to be optimistic about one company, with all the trash happening like every 5 seconds. You gotta have hope.
And Epic and you throw Blizzard in there for some random reason.
Even like Nether Realms. Did you see that this week? Oh, see, that's another story. We can.
We'll leave that. For this one,
right.
I'll meet you in between. I'll say it's in between good and bad because I'm not too high on Respawn yet.
Yeah, I'm optimistic.
All right.
I'm fingers crossed.
So, speaking of some iffy companies out there, back to Epic Games. I told you I'd bring it back here.
Yeah, you did.
This one, huge announcement this week. Huge. Can you guess what around Epic Games was huge this week? Besides complaints?
Besides complaints.
I shouldn't put you on the spot.
You mean like it was a positive?
I really shouldn't do that.
Somebody was saying nice things about Epic? What?
It wasn't necessarily nice things about Epic. It was actually really crappy things about Psyonix. If you heard, Epic Games bought out Psyonix, and with that, their main title, pretty much the only title anyone plays from Psyonix that I know of.
Do they make any other games, to be honest?
Rocket League. And so a huge debate about this. Obviously, you've heard about it as well, as to who is going to retain creative control. I was of the mindset that, of course, I think Psyonix will. They've also been kind of like a Respawn, revolved, kind of seen as a really nice group of people, right? Really trusted.
Right.
Not ever going to be a controversial updating. You never heard anyone say that Rocket League update was mighty controversial, huh? And it's just
Rocket League's really trying to nickel and dime me over here.
So with the way the game is going directionally, I think Psyonix will retain that creative control. But the amount of backlash we saw was insane, given the fact that Epic is bringing so much to the table. I thought I was surprised to see the amount of backlash around it.
See, I kind of feel like the backlash is justified in a way, right? Because in recent months, right, I had not been paying too much attention to the Epic Game Store and that whole situation since I'm not a PC gamer primarily. I play mostly on console. But to me, at surface level, it seemed like people were just mad that, I had to open up another thing. And I was like, well, who cares? I mean, it's not like you're switching PS4 to Xbox. You're clicking on another thing on your desktop. That's not
true.
Calm down.
Just to launch the game.
Right. Yeah. But then I heard that in relation to this Rocket League thing, about support in particular, right? People are concerned in terms of they might lose their custom workshop and stuff like that. That seems like it would really damage the game. And I kind of get why. I think I brought it up to you when we were talking about making the Rocket League video, the Linux support thing. Right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
The main issue.
Apparently, what happened is Epic bought the company that was responsible for... They were making this piece of software that made porting stuff to Linux easier. because they made it so it wasn't the developer that had to make the port. It was done like through Steam essentially. And so you could play a lot more games through Linux without the devs having to throw like, money at that, right? Epic bought that, and now the company's no longer supporting like titles through.
Get the frick! Epic is just
I
didn't hear about that.
Neither did I. Like
okay,
and see, like I heard about Epic Game Store being kind of iffy, but I hadn't heard about that other acquisition. I think the company's called like Kern or Corn or
you guys
something like
can
that.
Search it.
Yeah, maybe or we'll put a link in the description.
Yeah,
to something
if we
on that.
remember. Yeah. But with that being said, maybe I was a bit too optimistic at the start because my video was back and forth about the ups and the downs. With that being said, we're always curious what you guys think about this kind of stuff because it is a huge buyout in terms of developers out there, probably the biggest one we've seen in 2019. So for me, I thought the outcome for the pro competitive scene was going to be greatly positive.
Oh yeah, that definitely. I mean, more money.
What you're saying, the risk is on the back end for casual players, probably.
Yeah, probably more for like users. Yeah.
So I'm going to say slightly good news. I'm optimistic, like you were for a few stories.
Right. Well, I'll say I'm kind of in the same place.
Oh, okay.
You know, because like you said, Psyonix is good people as far as we've seen so far. So hopefully,
but money can change anybody.
And Epic's got money, so
and they're willing to change anybody.
Think about how that conversation must have gone, right? Epic must have been like, so like how much money do we have to give you? And Psyonix must have been like, ha ha. Then they just throw out like a random number, and Epic was like, sure. Here.
And then they go back to their meeting like, we should have freaking said so.
Yeah, exactly. No, we didn't think they would actually pay us.
We should have said double.
All right, so next story. I mentioned it briefly earlier. NetherRealms, the developers of Mortal Kombat, right? So the game just came out, and you know how it's in style right now to just rag on game developers for being trash companies to work at.
For sure.
To be honest. Like, I would feel so bad for Child Zan thinking like, because I wanted to be like, I wanted to work at a game studio. From like me, like, when I was like little, right? Because I wanted to work at a game company.
Yeah.
Like, think about, I would hate to be a parent and tell my kid now, like, yeah, I don't know if you want to go in the games because like all the good companies seem like you have to like kill yourself to work there.
I didn't even think about that perspective. That's a crazy thing. That's okay. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, Kotaku put out one of their rare decent articles about yeah.
We'll link them down below.
they need some work sometimes. But anyway, they did like an expose on NetherRealms, and then interviewed several of the devs, and people were. I'd never considered this aspect of it, right? But you know how they have these really brutal fatalities, right? Like super gruesome.
Rip your spine out and stab it through your face.
Yeah. It's a little excessive sometimes, right? So they're talking to the devs, and they were basically like, so we have to sit here and watch basically just people dying, like real people dying, like videos of that for hours on end to get it looking like decent in the game. And there's this one quote that like literally like I was like, I don't know if I'll ever buy a Mortal Kombat game again. I don't even like Mortal Kombat. I usually buy it just to support a fighting game, right? But she was like, she went to the doctor. The doctor was like, you have PTSD. From being exposed to all this violence all day, every day at work.
What the heck?
Like, actually, like, the first one was like, I don't know, something's off. And he was like, yeah.
Is this the first recorded case of a video game giving someone PTSD?
See, I figured, it must be, right? Apparently not. Apparently,
why have we not made videos on that? Is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like,
who would have thought? First of all, your first point was like, I never thought about, as a parent, if I ever become a parent, all the companies, you'd be like, don't go to Epic, don't go to Blizzard, don't go to Riot. We've heard some, especially if I have a little daughter,
Right, yeah. I wouldn't want them around there. Like,
but
no, heck no.
To think that you have to now warn your future kids, like, hey, you go to NetherRealms, you might get PTSD there, son. You best be watching.
See, I'm just so glad
that is insane.
That like articles like this, well, I'm not glad, right? Because this is terrible for these people. I hate the fact that this is happening.
But glad they come public.
Yeah, I'm very glad they're being public about it, because now as consumers we can make an informed decision and be like, I don't want to support that type of, product.
For sure.
I want them to be in a healthier environment, hopefully.
Wow, that is, for me, 100%. That's our first crazy news story. That's crazy news category for me.
Yeah. That's a yikes, dog.
Dude, that is actually insane.
Yeah.
I never thought about that. So the next one I was going to bring to your attention is one we've actually seen quite a bit in the past. And this is revolving around a U.S. senator. So we enter this realm, and I have very, very little knowledge about politics. So I'll take it for a face value of what I read.
Right.
This is actually a U.S. Senator from Missouri. His name is Josh Hawley. Shouts to you, Josh. Apparently, Josh actually wants to take out loot crates and take out any kind of box or unboxing inside these video games. At one point, he said, take me for a little bit leniency here on this quote. I think he said, video games are siphoning our kids' attention away from the real world, and therefore developers do not deserve to monetize that.
That's the angle he was going
right
for? Like, not even
So first of all, my first thought was people have tried this before, and it has not gone anywhere quite yet. Besides, forgive me, Belgium and Netherlands watchers right now, because a lot of their games, I believe Overwatch and CS:GO,
you can't
Belgium
even buy them
and
anymore,
the Netherlands you can't. I think you can unbox maybe a few in Overwatch, but CS:GO, it's everything.
Right. Okay.
So that's why progress on this, I think, is highly unlikely anywhere near in the future. But the fact that he said that it takes us away from the real world, and therefore devs cannot monetize. If you connect those, you should not be able to monetize anything that takes you away from real life.
Yeah, right. Like,
therefore, everything you do,
golf, forget
football
that.
games, MLB, whatever is what I took from that.
You know what? I feel like eating is too distracting, personally.
Therefore, you shouldn't be able to charge me for that hot dog.
Yeah,
right? Because it took me away. It took me into my own world. It was so good.
I wasn't communicating really with my environment while I was enjoying this food. So,
like, when I'm eating this hot dog, it's me and this dog in a whole new world. Therefore, these hot dogs should be free. It's just it was very weird to see a legislative guy like this, who clearly probably has likely never played video games to a past the like, he was the guy that was into politics in middle school, like running for class
like in Stuco or whatever, like
give it student council, the leader of that, captain of the soccer team, although you can't monetize soccer games anymore according to him. But it was crazy to me.
Yeah, forget FIFA, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. I really highly doubt this would go anywhere, but to me it kind of baffled me. You see these outside perspectives, kind of correlates to people who say video games cause violence kind of argument. I don't think it'll go anywhere, but
hopefully not. I mean, especially with reasoning like that. I was I just saw the headline about this earlier, right? And I had assumed that he had at least come up with like a decent BS reason, As
a senator, yeah.
It was always going to be a BS reason. It was never going to be anything legitimate, like, oh, you know what, I feel like the odds aren't balanced, or, the game developers aren't being upfront about stuff. Pardon me. It was always going to be something ridiculous. I would put money down that this person either has like a child or like a niece or a nephew who took like a parent's credit card.
Yep. It is, I'm going to take this way up.
Yeah. And he probably didn't even care that he spent the money. They probably were like, you didn't even know what you buy?
Yeah.
What?
And the kid
you bought digital boxes?
Right.
What?
And the kid might have done a poor explanation.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're making steps forward. Obviously, from his side, we'll take his side on one tiny thing, is the fact that a lot of games out there have been pretty shadowed when it comes to revealing the odds or making it fair.
Yeah, transparency would be nice.
In the past 2 months, 6 months, we've seen a lot more game developers come forward and say, here are the percentages. If you want to risk the money to open these cases that are obviously not in your favor, continue to do so. We will show you the percentages. That's pretty fair on our part. Like, you know what you're getting into mostly nowadays.
You have a general idea at least.
Like, you generally know you shouldn't be opening cases.
Yeah.
So for those people who choose to do so, I say all the more power to them. And for this, I say, I don't even know what to call this story. A classic outside video game story.
Yeah, old man shouting at clouds.
They don't freaking understand us.
They just, I have a really interesting one that kind of struck me as like the smartest thing I've heard.
I'll be the judge.
In like forever.
Yeah. Hit me with it.
So movie theaters are repurposing themselves, like the theaters themselves, as esports arenas.
I saw this. I'm glad you covered it.
Yeah. Is that not like the smartest idea? Like, that sounds like it would work out so well.
I didn't read fully into it, but I saw that they weren't like, were they using like theaters that are already being used as theaters, but sometimes when they're not being used as theaters, they're going to repurpose them?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, that's
they were going to take like, say you're going to go see Avengers in Theater 1. In Theater 2, they might have like CS:GO set up or whatever.
That is really cool. Will it work out? It's like a gaming cafe. We've seen so many of those shut down. Either way.
True. But
innovative.
This is a good reason, because I feel like this will be good for parents, right? They can go see whatever movie they want to see, and the kid can go play video games next door.
You're always thinking of things that I can't think of. That is. And then you hear your kid scream next door. You know something's either really good or really bad.
You hear the kid screaming next door. Frick Overwatch players.
Frick you parents. All the parents. It's just kid dedicated gaming rooms, and all the parents are watching their films, and then you just hear a riot. Yeah, I definitely like the idea. I hope it works out because we've seen so many failures of these kind of things. But
every like once a month, basically.
Yeah, definitely like it. I would say for me, obvious cool story.
Yeah.
And hope it works out.
Fingers crossed.
I'm bringing to you a next story that I'm not sure if I want to share or not. So you guys can let us know if this is a stupid story. I saw so many websites, so many clickbait YouTube channels talk about this. I don't know if you follow the Fortnite scene, but I know for sure you've heard of Ninja and Tfue.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
I think it was by the time you guys watched this, so sometime probably last week, we'll say. They were, I want to say they were scrimming. They were playing together in some form or fashion. Ended up being Ninja killing Tfue.
Okay.
After he kills Tfue, it sounds, like, whoa.
I mean, that's what happens in the game.
People die.
What?
And then later on, after killing him, I think pretty much right away, he said he could not wait to clickbait this.
Okay, yeah.
And so Deserto and all these YouTube channels, Ninja hype, Ninja clickbaiting Tfue. And so what ends up happening is a couple of days later, Ninja posts it, does his video. Tfue being Tfue, he posts the video too.
Yeah. Why not monetize your own clickbait?
And as of right now, Tfue's videos actually surpass Ninja's.
Oh, really? That's great.
So he
deserves
Ninja's
that.
Clickbait. To me, I found it really funny. But the actual main point I wanted to bring up was all of these people freaking out about Ninja saying that he wanted to clickbait. Tell me someone who hasn't clickbaited in the past 3 days.
How do you think Ninja got popular? Or Tfue?
Or anyone.
Yeah, anybody. I mean, I'd say there's maybe 5 people.
Yeah, right.
who stayed who just put they put I'm stramming.
Yeah.
And that's it. Just not even. And then they got big
don't
somewhere.
Even spell it right.
Yeah, exactly. They don't even oh.
And plus, the videos are obviously posted to YouTube. YouTube. I mean, you have to clickbait to survive. It was just amazing to me how people will take this to the extreme and say,
I thought we were past this.
Right?
I thought we'd gotten past this 2 or 3 years ago, to be honest.
It's he will forever be the villain that people hope he is. He'll never be the villain they hope he is, but they're always going to try and paint him as one, no matter what he does.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He could have said there, literally, Tfue, I wish I wouldn't have killed you, and people would have clickbaited the heck out of that. Ninja doesn't want to kill
Ninja's
Tfue.
a pacifist?
Ninja teaming with
Ninja
Tfue?
anti-gun? Ninja wants to take my gun away? From the quartering.
Jeez. You good? I feel like it's so hot in here too. On top of that.
Yeah.
So for me, I would say our first overhyped story. It should not have been a story.
Very much so.
But it needed to be talked about.
No, that should have been a 5-second. You know what? Ninja said he was going to clickbait. What? What do you mean? He made a video? What?
I hope we use it and we clickbait it somehow in the title or whatever. All right, Xanifer, are you ready for me? Are you ready for this?
I think I already know what you're getting into, and I'm prepared.
I questioned whether or not I should bring this up because
That's fair.
We obviously do not like to, we do not like to talk bad about people.
Of course not.
Right?
All positivity.
So, as expected with positivity, I tell you this next story about Ateyo. Ateyo Gaming.
Nothing but positivity.
Which I know you have seen at least part of it. We're gonna roll for you guys. If you have not seen it, we're gonna play at least a small clip for you guys and hopefully link something down below for all of you. A female gaming apparel company, I'm not really sure how to classify it, came out with a video this past week. If you guys have not seen it, here it is.
Thank you, games. Thank you for Ateyo. Not only play League, hit the Overwatch queue. So I jumped into Fortnite. Gotta love all the loot. Now I'm a legend in Apex, yeah. I wonder what's next. I'm still playing Dota. Maybe one day you'll cast. Games set me left.
So with that, a lot of sides to this one, right?
There's not a lot of sides. There's one side.
I'm gonna play I'll play the nice guy here. You got good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
For me, I'll get this out right away. It was super cool to see all the female gaming characters.
I can always get behind
their
that.
recruitment, the process of doing so, amazing. Everything besides that For me personally, it was hard. It was really hard to kind of get sold by this message. I know that I went to the website. I think plenty of people did. You saw the typical, somewhat pretty overpriced gaming apparel, which is always a weird term to stretch.
It's insulting.
And all of a sudden, like, I don't know where to really take it, to be honest.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't know that they can take it anywhere. I don't know they have anybody decent enough at anything to take it anywhere.
Because
they have money.
We've
they
tried
have
to
sure.
halfway debate this if they're going to actually. I said they're not going to make profit.
Yeah, See, I'm worried that they will, and I'm worried that people will look at this as like, oh, that's good, and it's going to lower the quality of everybody's clothing. Lower the quality and raise the prices, because I feel like, okay, I've made a lot of clothes, right? I briefly worked in designing clothes and as a consultant, right?
Same.
Yeah. Yeah. You've all heard of his line?
The
Lucky
gamer
Couture.
The male gaming line.
Yeah. But it's all like, all of their clothes have like this level of, the nice way I can put it is hopefully they're just really stupid. That's the nice way, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like hopefully they just think that all gamers have only ever shopped at Kmart and have never spent more than $5 on a hoodie. Yeah. Right? And that's why they're like, a hoodie, get this, right? A hoodie that will fit over your headphones. Gamer swag.
Because the biggest part to me was the offerings. They had a pair of sweatpants. Yeah. Which, I guess you could call that gaming. They're sweatpants.
They're just rip-off Nike Tech Fleece.
Same with the hoodie. The part that bothered me is I've never seen a girl wear a female version of a wife beater while gaming or pay $25 for it. And so to me, the prices were kind of, like, well, we see that a lot in gaming, right? You got to turn a profit as they do. But I hope you're right. I hope there was a lot of oversight, because although there was a lot of great feedback on the main channel, especially from the female gaming community, I truly do think it could. I think it could work. It needs some work, and I just hope that there was some oversight, and it could have been much better. I really
definitely could have been. I think if all they need to do to make it work, a couple simple things, right? Scrap the name. It means nothing. What is Ateyo? What is that supposed to be?
Czechoslovakian first stream, dude. Everyone knows that. It's like Kangarna, like Ateyo.
Oh yeah.
We won't get started.
Well, if it's like Kangarna, everything's good.
Oh, the king.
Yeah. But my problem is they're being like super pretentious with all their stuff in a way that really bothers me about fashion people, right? Like, it's one thing when Kanye is talking down to you, right? And nobody likes that, and that's why his collection didn't sell very well, right? Because it was all like super like, we're very fashionable. Look at this really boxy homeless fit, right? Yeah. Everybody's like, no, go away. Them just putting out a collection with their name on it, right? Their name has no weight. It's not worth anything yet, right? No brand is at first, right?
That is a really good point.
Yeah. So
no weight, no brand, and they were charging those prices.
Yeah. Like those prices.
That's a really good point.
And it seems like what they were trying to use to justify the price was the fact that they're women designing clothes for gamers, and that the clothes have benefits for gamers, right? Specifically benefits for gamers, and none of the benefits were really like actual benefits. They very much felt like this is what you get when you spend $40 on a pair of pants, right? That's very basic. Right?
I think they're 65, but that's fine.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. This is what you get when you spend $40, and then they're like, let's throw another 20 on top because we can, Yeah, and it just really, always.
We can cut it short. We can revisit it in the future. We don't wanna, if they drop a second line, we'll revisit on it and see if they drop a
second line. I will buy something. And
we'll do a review on it.
I will do a fair review. As soon, here's the story. I bought, as soon as I saw their hoodie design, I bought fabric to make an actual gamer hoodie. I get the fabric in for that like within the next week or so.
You want to do side by side?
Yeah, I'll see if I can get my hands on one of their hoodies, and we'll see like quality wise if they've actually bring anything to the table.
So I think we can both agree. We think it could have done a lot better, and I think in the future they have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, they
can still prove us wrong.
They could. Yeah, honestly, just copy somebody. For real, I would prefer that. Just be ignorant and copy like Rick Owens or some shit. That's fine. I just don't. I would have.
As you could see, a little pissed off.
Yeah, like you. I had to leave work the other day because I was so mad about this. I was planning on like, so we have a flexible work day, right? So if we want to, if we're busy, we can stay like an extra half hour, right?
Yeah.
I was planning on staying like an extra hour to work on some stuff, and then their first news piece came out from I think it was like a Forbes article calling them the Nike of esports.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It high key ruined my day so badly. I was like, I can't work anymore. I've got to
side-by-side review coming in the future for Ateyo.
All right. You know, this kind of ties into Ateyo, actually.
Oh, we're back on it already?
No, we're not. We
cut away. We've been in the past, Sam.
I can't. So Walmart, right?
That is
already better than Ateyo.
Oh my god!
Starting jumping into it, right? But no, yeah. So they've launched a new partnership for a ton of esports merch.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna be seeing like esports jerseys.
Same week, like this.
Yeah,
recently?
yeah, like this week. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I think the actual company that they're partnered with is called We Are Nations.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard like a couple months ago, Ninja is like selling like a headband.
Yeah.
Through Walmart.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, it's through them too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, it's like one company just like they just work with everybody.
I actually like this a lot. Sorry, I'm not even letting you expand. But I personally, we have bought jerseys, and typically there's a shop called ESL shop. ESL is a pretty big organizer.
Yeah.
And for now, like where I can buy jerseys that are actually like legit jerseys are always overseas.
Yeah, it's rough, right?
And we were talking about, it's funny, we talked about this before the podcast. It like because you have to pay for ridiculous shipping. The jersey itself, not the issue. But I'm paying from freaking Germany, and I've got to pay $20 in shipping.
Right.
So for this to come to Walmart, I mean,
I feel like that's probably the best option, right? Because Walmart's everywhere.
Dare I speak too soon? I think this is actually going to be great for if they can keep the quality. This is actually great for everyone involved.
Yeah, especially because I know a lot of esports fans may be in more, let's say, like rural areas, right, where they may not have like certain brands, right? Like I don't know if everybody has a Target, right?
Yeah.
Like some people have like an HEB. I have no idea what that is, right? Texas people talk about it every 5 seconds. But like Walmart's everywhere.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a Walmart.
Yeah, exactly.
So if everybody can at least, enjoy the esports scene like in their own way, that's good.
Yeah, for sure. I did not. Yeah, it's really cool. I like that a lot, and hopefully they can do it correctly because I can already see that if they're $6 jerseys, I'm going to be a bit worried about what they're going to give you.
They'll go for at least 10. I mean, like, come on. It's quality stuff.
We're about to see a bunch of casual people have no idea who Envy or like whatever team is, like adults just wearing these because they're cheap at Walmart.
I saw the funniest picture the other day from like this random like tech company, right? They were just like in like some European country, right? Just a bunch of Asian dudes going to a conference wearing like the same jacket, right? Because they're going to a conference, right? They want to be matching as a company,
of course,
right? They get like some random old dude comes up and insists that they're esports pros. And they're like, no, we're not.
Because they're Asian?
Yeah, because they're Asian.
Dude, no.
And they're all wearing the jacket.
Oh.
And they're like, no, we're not. And so there's a picture of him taking a picture with them, looking happy as can be.
Because they went with it?
Yeah, because they I think past a certain point, they're like, we're not convincing this guy that we're not esports players. We might as well just take the picture and get it over with.
My mom would do the same thing, though.
Like, see, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah,
that is so funny, though. Oh my gosh. But that's totally cool.
See, at least that guy was coming from a place of like he meant well. He really did.
He's like, my son talks about as if there's only one esport and there's 3 teams and they're one of them. My son talks about you all the time. He plays he thinks they're developed. He plays your game.
Are you the ninja?
Ninja and Tfue and blah blah.
Probably
I heard you guys killed each other the other day. You're the clickbaiter. Just generalize. That is literally my mom. Just generalize everything as much as possible. A video game is an esport, and esport's a video game.
No, I'm pretty sure if I told my mom like right now, oh yeah, I'm doing some esports stuff, so like, oh, like with Pokemon?
Are you throwing Pokeballs? Yeah, at work every day.
Yeah, basically, right?
All right, with that being said, our stories are done. And as we prepare our ending and closing statements, we're just going to quickly talk about what's going on here in terms of that. I think every time we close these podcasts, we'll talk about something in the scene or, what we look forward to. This time around, though, just what we're doing over here. Last week, we had the Trial by Fire video go up.
Yeah, which was nice. That was fun.
Including Mortal Kombat. They didn't see you much because you beat me so fast. But I'll tell you guys what, I've never in my life eaten something that hot where I was
really?
legitimately
It was
crying.
that bad? No, okay, yeah, you were
You don't know.
you were
'cause
pretty
you didn't
messed
eat
up.
A god
Yeah.
dang thing.
You know, I was thinking about eating one, like in solidarity,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I knew I wasn't going
It's
to.
typical. I was thinking about it.
I was considering it, and then I saw your face, and then I was like, you know what? I like myself.
And I'm over there like,
Yeah.
I hate myself, just crying away.
Yeah.
But besides that, this podcast is certainly something we're looking forward to. The main thing that I'm looking forward to is getting you guys to recommend topics to us as the weeks go on. So all of our information, our Twitters, as well as, of course, our YouTube channel. If you guys want to comment at any time during the week, future stories, please let us know so we can actually have another episode, because this was super fun for me at least.
Yeah, this was actually this worked out better than I thought, especially for like a first go at it.
Stick with us. This is our first time.
Yeah.
No-
Just think of how much better it'll be.
Right? We'll get
Yeah.
redefined. Be optimistic like we were for a few of the stories. We'll get better and better as we go. We'll redefine and hopefully do a better job.
Yeah,
But as
sounds
always,
good.
are we ending this sucker?
Yeah, might as well, right? Close it out.
Well, as always, guys, thank you, as always, episode 1,
Yeah.
for watching Esports Rewind. If you guys did enjoy, please do us a favor, leave a like down below. More importantly, leave a comment. We're going to read through every single one, reply
Everyone.
to them as well, and what you guys liked most. What can we improve? That is most important. And until next time, we will see you guys back here on the Esports Rewind. Cheers to you, Zan.
Cheers.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Have a good one.